Best of R / Tales from Retail episode 32. Okay, so I'm a merchandising manager at a department store. For some time now, corporate was trying to implement the ability to buy items online and pick up in store. Well, the day of launch finally arrived and we had some requirements for the person who was picking up. Person must present it and it must match the name on the order. Also, all customers received an email with these requirements clearly stated. First order came in. Jeans with fringe at the heels. Great. Then the lady showed up. Me equals me. Customer equals C. General manager equals GM. C. Hi, I'm here to pick up some pants that I bought online. Me. Great. This way please. Under what name is the order? C. Gives me her name. Me. I'm not seeing that name here. When did you make this purchase? C. Last night with my husband. Me. What's your husband's name? C. Gives me his name. Me. Okay, I see his name here. Where is he? C. He's at work. He's a very busy man. Me. I understand. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to release this to anyone other than whoever's name is on here. C. But that's my husband's name. Look, I even have the email on my phone. Why would I have the email if I wasn't the one meant to pick it up? Me. Looks at email and sees that the husband's name was manually typed in as the pickup person. Mom, your husband's name was typed in as the pickup person, so therefore I cannot release the merchandise to anyone but him. C. Okay, well then you need to get your manager to fix this. Me. Sure. About 2 minutes later. Grams. Hello mom, what seems to be the problem? C. Your manager here doesn't know how to do his job properly. Grams. Really? Well, what happened? C. He's saying only my husband can pick up this order. Grams. Goes through all the info I saw. I'm sorry mom, but my manager here was actually correct. We need your husband to pick this up since it's under his name. C. My husband will not come get this order. He's a very busy man and doesn't have time to deal with this. Grams. Again, I apologize, but he's the only one whose name this is under. C. Check my ID. It's clear that he's my husband. Grams. Looks at the ID and then chuckles a little. Mom, the last names don't even match. C. Because that's my maiden name. Can you just give me the pants already? Grams. No mom, I'm sorry, only your husband can claim these pants. C. Scoffs. Okay, then just cancel the order then so he can get his money back. Grams. Again, the order is under your husband's name, so only he can cancel or claim the order. C. So you guys are just gonna keep his money. He's not gonna come. Like I said, he's too busy to deal with petty things like this. Grams. No mom. If no one claims these pants within the next 7 days, the order will be considered abandoned and the proper refund procedures will begin. C. I'm never shopping here again. Leaves. GM to me after she's left. Is that a promise? Thank you. Next. A rookie poster. English is not my first language. Also on mobile. I used to work at a bookstore in my previous city a couple years back. I had just turned 20. In my country we have a thing called mall discount, which means that if you work at another store in that mall you can get a small discount of your purchase. There are some stores that don't have that even if all the other stores at that mall have it. The bookstore did have that. I was working there a small time as a trainee as a part of my education. This one time a customer that worked in another store at that mall came to the cash register with 2 postcards. She showed me the mall badge and I was adding the discount when the cash register machine gave me an error message. Some items were not discountable and those 2 postcards were one of them. This is paraphrased since I don't properly remember it anymore. Me. Okay, the total is €2. Customer. No, I showed you the badge. You need to apply the discount. Me. I'm sorry, the cash register gave an error message so I can't do that. C. Yelling something about getting a discount before and berating me and yelling some more. Me. Oh okay, I'll see what I can do. I tried several methods of applying a discount because there was a line after the angry customer and I was trying to solve this quick. I finally managed to apply the discount by manually changing the price and wrote a memo on the receipt about the discount. She huffed and mumbled something like it wasn't that hard now, was it? And left. I guess the customers after her noticed that I was a bit shaken and the name tag on my shirt had trainee above my name because they told me to take my time to process their purchases. After the line was cleared, an actual employee came, gave me a hug and told me to take an extra long break. I was told that I managed it perfectly and shouldn't have been yelled at. I was also told what store she worked at, and since then I have boycotted the whole chain. Thank you. Next. For reference, I work as a cashier at a craft store. Every week certain items/brands will go on sale and there's an advertisement people can pick up at the front of the store too. Each register also has an advertisement which makes it easier to ensure discounts are applied to the right items. There was one lady however who felt the rules didn't apply to her. I don't know why, but for a month straight she would come in to demand discounts for items that weren't on sale. Lady brings up paper that was on sale last week. Me delivers standard greeting. Starts ringing her up, total is $X. XX. Lady gives me a stink face. Wait, that's not right. It's supposed to be 50% off. Me a bit confused because I'm new. It is. Thank you. Next. English isn't my first language. Please correct me. So I'm a teenager, 17F, but I work part-time at a supermarket. My job is to refill the shelves and if customers approach me, help them find what they are looking for. A few days ago I was putting alcohol bottles away when a rude hey came from behind me. A middle-aged man wanted to know where a certain bottle of wine was. It was on sale that week. I get it and bring it to him, only for him to start screaming at me about how stupid a person could be to get the wrong bottle, that the store should hire people that aren't mentally challenged and to get the right bottle. I'm startled because I knew that we only had that size and start telling him this before he interrupted me, talking about how he knew what he read and that the flyer said something different. At this point I'm a little pissed, so I walked over to the checkout, grabbed a flyer, showed him that I'm right and said we only have that size. I can't make one in a bigger size appear. He just said then I don't want it, and walked away. I would love to say that I was really cool at that moment, but to be honest, I was ready to cry, seeing as I was new and didn't know how to deal with the situation. It may not have been a big deal but I couldn't help it. Thank you. Next. I work in a large and busy department bookstore. Before Christmas went pretty well this year. Customers were generally polite, not too aggressive, and none of our staff was driven to tears. My most memorable customer was a lady about 55. She looked a little bit like Donna Trott. She came to my counter and I did my usual hi, do you need some help? She asked, do you have an environmentally friendly gift section? I was confused. We aren't a gift store exactly. I mean, I'm sure we sell a lot of books that are given as gifts, but we are a bookstore, not a specialty gift store. Apart from some stationery and some shirts with book covers on them, we sell only books. That's our business. I think that's reasonably clear by the shelves of books as far as the eye can see. I said no, sorry, we don't have that section. She said nothing like that? Nothing at all? I said we have an ecology section. It is a scholarly non-fiction section about the environment. We also have a section of green living books, like Living Without Plastic, or Making Natural Health Products at Home, that is more of a lifestyle section. Are those the sorts of books you're thinking of? No, I'm looking for an environmentally friendly gift section. Do you really not have a section like that? She was starting to look urgently concerned. I would even say that she looked a little disgusted. No, I said carefully. I'm sorry, but we don't have a section like that. Oh, she said, looking completely affronted. I'm very sorry that you don't. And she stalked off. I still don't know what she wanted. A section of books exclusively printed on sustainably sourced paper? A whole section containing only books about environmentally friendly gift ideas? No idea. Hope everyone survived this year without too much grief. We can chill out a little bit. Congrats on making it through. Thank you. Next. No drama in this one. This is more of just an annoyance of wishing people would read properly. A bit of a long explanation at the beginning here. So I work for a Canadian retailer which has independently owned and operated stores. We have a distribution center that supplies roughly a third of the stores through the country. That is where our store stock is ordered from. Our retailer is rather behind when it comes to online orders compared to the bigger retailers in Canada. Those retailers often shelve inventory of stock in the nearest store, or allow online orders to put reserve on an item that may be in stock at that store. Where our retailer, if someone places an order on our website, it is sent to our distribution center, and sent on the next available truck that supplies our store. It causes issues with customer, because as you know, they read only what they want to see. One example is when you're on the page of item, it says available and in stock, and a tab to select how much you want to order. Customers think this translates to what our store has in stock, and the tab that selects how much you want to order is our current inventory. Some people don't seem to understand it when we explain it. We often tell people to just phone us to order the item they want. Because another issue is when ordered online, we have no idea about the online order until it arrives, so if it's lost in transit, we have no way of tracking the order, or knowing about it, and the customer has paid for it online. So we tell them ordering through us rather than online, we can track the order, and they don't have to pay for it until they come to the store to pick it up. Saves a lot of headaches. And this story is a prime example of the headaches it causes. I was working a Sunday during the summer. I was the most senior staff in the store that day. I had a couple probably in their late 20s come in. I asked them if there was anything I can help them find. The man responds with yeah, we ordered a dehumidifier online. We are wondering if it is in. I asked them when they placed the order, and the guy replied today. I explained to him that if the order was placed today, it won't be here until our next truck during the week. He responds with well, it says online you have stock. I clarify that when it says there is stock at our distribution center, and that the website doesn't show live inventory for our stores. So an order placed today would arrive on the truck during the week. He seemed slightly confused by it, and said well, it said online to pick up at this store. I had to clarify to him again, that when the order arrives, you pick it up at this store. That is what the ad means. I told him though I do keep the dehumidifier he ordered in a stock already, so he can either buy the one we have on the shelf and see if he could cancel the order, or wait for the one he ordered to come in. He said well, can you let me take the one on your shelf? I said yes, but he'd still have to pay for it here at the store. He responds but I paid for it online. Can't I walk out with it? I told him number. Online ordering is a separate system. I don't have any of the paperwork for the item, and our store doesn't make any money from online orders, so I'd be letting him walk out with a free dehumidifier if I did. He said well, can you check with your manager? I told him that my manager wasn't in today, but he'd say the same thing I was telling him. He replied, well, is there anyone here who will let us take this? I told him I'm the most senior staff here, and I can't let him take the dehumidifier without paying for it, regardless of whether he paid online or not. He wasn't pissed or anything. He was just really confused. So he decided not to take it, and wait for the order to come in. So an hour later, I get a call from the customer, saying he's on the email confirmation, and it says in stock at our store. Pick up at your local store. I told him that doesn't seem right. The stock they are referring to is our distribution center, and the pickup is when the order arrives. He again asks if I can let him walk out with the dehumidifier. I told him I can't. He has to pay for it. So he says he'll come in and show me the email, because he was as confused as I was starting to get on the whole matter. So he comes in less than an hour, but he walks right by me, and heads straight for the dehumidifiers. So I head straight to where he was, and asked him if he has the email. He responds, actually, I cancelled the order online. You were right. I read into it more, and it says everything you pretty much said. I rolled my eye internally. I wanted to say if you read the details properly, it would avoid all this headache. But I just said this is why we tell customers to just phone our store or come in to do an order rather than online. It saves a lot of these kinds of headaches. So he bought the dehumidifier, and left. No drama, no freakouts. Just annoyance and confusion. Thank you. Next. This falls a bit into old man yells at cloud territory. Around this time during the holidays at the store I work at, we usually get a lot of ornery customers, younger and older, and honestly, as the years go by, you start getting more and more tolerant of how they act, but every now and then, you tend to get someone under your skin or tries to rile you up, and you need to just roll with it. The front end of the store I work at is generally loud, with people customers and employees alike, being vocal, jovial, laughing, and just doing their thing. Today for instance, I was on break and in the express lane waiting to be checked out, standing behind an older guy who was being checked out. One of the baggers across from the express lane, who has Down syndrome, always says hi to me and doesn't have much of a filter as far as keeping his voice down. He also is hard of hearing, so I would keep having to walk back and forth so that I wouldn't have to speak up any louder than I had to. As I was walking back to the express lane in order to get ready for my turn to buy my stuff, I ended up turning back to wind down the conversation, and suddenly, the old guy interjected and started to say stuff like, if you wanna talk to him, go over there, don't yell in my ear, etc., etc. For my part, I know that I gave the guy ample room, and not once did I direct my voice towards his own ears. I spoke to the bagger as I've always done with people in the store, and this was the first I ever got someone so upset at a simple conversation. He gave me a death glare as if to anticipate an argument or an apology from me, but I don't know, man. Perhaps it's because I've just become more resilient in realizing what is bait and what isn't with customers, but I replied back as respectfully as possible and said, okay, I got it sir. He gave me another stare down as if he was upset that I didn't take the bait. I figured that by apologizing, I'd be giving him more of a reason to talk back to me, and if I started something with him, it would escalate. The poor dude with Down syndrome kept trying to talk to me while this is going on, not realizing that I was intentionally staying quiet so the guy would move on. I don't think he realized the situation, and I figured it best not to drag him into it. As the guy was grabbing the groceries, he looks at the cashier and says, thanks. Usually the employees are a lot nicer here as he looks at me, trying to get one last potshot in at me as he walked away. I'm not gonna lie, I bit my tongue before he said this. You're always going to come away a bit naturally angry at something like that happening, but I definitely did the best I could to handle it in a way where I didn't give the guy what I wanted, which was a true reaction so he'd have an actual reason to complain. He would have never said such a thing if it was a customer or to my co-worker, but because I was an employee and someone he could exert power over, he felt the need to say what he said. People's level of what loud is always varies and I try to be mindful of that, but not once did I actually yell or do anything that the guy claimed I did. You gotta love customers, man.